Good evening and welcome to Ignite News on 6 at 6. It's Thursday, October 16, 2025. I'm Rana Nikram. Thanks for joining us. Here are the headlines. Ghana's landmark gas to energy project at Wales is now 68% complete, with major construction accelerating towards its 2026 target for delivering cheaper, cleaner power. President Ali reaffirms Ghana's dedication to regional peace, strengthening the defense force and tackling transnational crime. Justice Arif Bulkan is sworn in as the third Guyanese judge on the CCJ, strengthening the court's regional role and expertise in law and human rights. And the Ghana Hindu Dharmic Sabha's annual Jale lights up the Kitty roundabout with thousands of diyas, vibrant music, and a powerful message of hope and unity. The gas energy project at Wales is now more than halfway complete, and contractors say the next stage will bring Ghana closer to generating cheaper, cleaner power by 2026. Chairman of Livestock LND Guyana, Nelson Drake, confirmed that the project is 68.3% complete overall, with major progress made in engineering and procurement. Speaking at the International Business Conference at the Marriott Hotel, Drake said that soil stabilization, one of the toughest challenges, has been fully resolved, clearing the way for construction to accelerate.
We have installed over 4 million horsepower, and worldwide we've done over 140 EPC projects. We have a great commitment with the people of Guyana for this gas to energy project. The gas to energy project, as I said before, is transformational. We work all around the hemisphere, and basically what we try to deliver and do deliver is 360 degrees of responsibility.
According to Drake, engineering is nearly 90% complete, while procurement stands at about 90.5%, with most of the major equipment, including turbines and transformers, already in Guyana. The construction phase is now ramping up at roughly 23% complete, after more than a year of foundation and soil preparation. To accelerate progress, the company will recruit about 400 additional workers and implement a 120-day schedule to complete all turbine foundations.
You can see today we're at 68.3%. 89% of the engineering is done, 90.46% of the procurement is done, and only 23% of the construction is done. A lot of people will look at this and say, this is backward. Usually, the civil work is done, and they're waiting to get equipment. Today, over 75% of this equipment is in Georgetown. The turbines, the Hersigs, the BESS.
The Wales Gas Energy Project, one of Ghana's largest infrastructure undertakings, is designed to supply 300 megawatts of power through a natural gas-powered combined cycle plant. Once completed, it is expected to cut electricity costs by up to 50%, reduce emissions, and strengthen Ghana's industrial base. Officials are projecting initial electricity generation between January and March 2026, with full commissioning expected later next year. Guyana has reaffirmed its commitment to ending poverty at home and across the region while promoting food security and sustainable development. Speaking at the UN Second Committee debate, First Secretary Royston Alkins highlighted the overarching goal of the 2030 Agenda, improving lives especially for those in vulnerable situations.
Guyana, in this regard, has instituted policies to transition from solely primary production towards more value-added smart agriculture practices. This will be enabled by the government through the creation of a development bank offering interest-free loans to enable small-scale farmers to access affordable financing. This will help farmers expand their operations, especially in rural communities who have struggled to secure funding through traditional financing institutions. Chair, recognizing that trade can be a driver of sustainable and just agri-food systems, Guyana has recommitted to advancing CARICOM's agri-food systems agenda through Vision 2030.
Alkins stressed that with just 5 years left to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals, accelerated action is critical. This requires a multifaceted approach, including creating decent jobs, improving education and health care, and transforming agri-food systems to ensure food security. He emphasized that trade is a key driver for sustainable and fair agri-food systems, reaffirming Ghana's commitment to the CARICOM agri-food systems agenda.
This is aimed at boosting food production, ending hunger, and ensuring food security across the Caribbean community. Another key element of this equation is addressing the interlinkages between climate change and food production. Arduous and changing weather patterns disrupt production, hindering access both to foods and markets, and distort prices, which mainly affects the poor and small-scale producers. Guyana will support the COP30 President, the FAO, and other relevant partners in pioneering solutions in this regard.
He concluded by reaffirming Ghana's commitment to multilateral declarations and the Global Zero Hunger Goal. President Dr. Irfan Ali has reaffirmed Ghana's commitment to regional peace and collaboration, especially in the fight against transnational crime across the Caribbean. He made the remarks while addressing the commissioning ceremony of the Standards Officers Course 56 at Base Camp Ghana. The president said Ghana is committed to keeping the Caribbean and Latin America a zone of peace, but stressed the need for decisive action against organized crime, drug trafficking, and cross-border threats.
Yes, Guyana support the aspiration of keeping Latin America and the Caribbean as a zone of peace. But equally also, we support every action and embrace every partnership to cripple transnational crime, the illicit drug trade, and any form of destabilization that threatens the security of Guyana and this region.
Dr. Ali reminded officers that Ghana's growing prosperity, built on its expanding economy and energy sector, must be protected through peace, discipline, and readiness. He emphasized that modernizing the GDF with technology, drones, and infrastructure upgrades is not aggression, but a step towards stability and national resilience. The president also reaffirmed partnerships with allies, including the United States and regional defense counterparts, to address both traditional and non-traditional security threats.
When we invest in national defense, it is not an investment in war. It is an investment in peace. It is not preparation for conquest. It is preparation for protection. It is about securing our prosperity. We protect our prosperity first and foremost by strengthening the capabilities of the Guyana Defense Force.
Dr. Ali concluded by committing to equip every officer to lead with integrity and professionalism, reinforcing the GDF's role as a guardian of democracy, sovereignty, and regional cooperation. The private sector is urging young people to seize opportunities in agriculture and help drive Ghana's goal of national food security. Speaking on the Starting Point podcast, Managing Director of Bounty Farm Limited, David Fernandez, said the government's plan to transform the agriculture sector needs a committed, unified effort from all stakeholders.
I think that why not? Why can't you become the next Umami, the next Bricks and Sari, the next Bihari, the next Banks IH, So there are many opportunities, and I think that the next generation of Guyanese are the ones who are now kids and teenagers, have a great opportunity at some special things in their life that we never had when I was growing up in the early 70s and 80s.
He stressed that private sector involvement is crucial, and real self-sufficiency in agriculture will only come when more Guyanese, especially youth, get involved. Fernandez also called on young people to develop a strong work ethic, saying the next generation of entrepreneurs must dream big and put their muscles to the wheel. He added the success of food security initiative depends on youth working beyond online spaces and engaging directly in production. The Fernandez family has long roots in agriculture, milling, and shipping, and Bounty Farm remains the country's largest poultry producer. When returned, Ghana's Bulkan sworn in at CCJ, ruminant industry set for growth, and Queen's College celebrates 50 years of girls' achievements.
Fuel it up and drive, super 95. Fuel it up and drive, super 95. Protect your fuel system, boy. High mileage and performance, boy.
Guy Oil's Super 95 gasoline gives you more reasons to drive and is available at 56 service stations nationwide. For affordable price, high performance, and high mileage, choose Guy Oil's Super 95 gasoline.
Fuel it up and drive.
Welcome back. Justice Arif Bulkan has been sworn in as Ghana's newest judge on the Caribbean Court of Justice. In a major moment for Ghana's legal community, Justice Arif Bulkan was today sworn in as judge of the Caribbean Court of Justice. The ceremony took place at the office of the president, where President Dr. Irfan Ali administered the oath of office.
Through the court's seat in Port of Spain, Trinidad and Tobago, we're immensely grateful that the taking of the oath of office of the court's newest judge is being held here in Guyana, the land of Justice Bulkan's birth and the headquarters of the CARICOM community. Justice Anderson, I assure you and the Caribbean community that the Caribbean Court of Justice will and must always have a home. And Guyana stands ready and able to be that foundational pillar that will ensure the Caribbean Court of Justice continue to lead and lead with distinction. This gesture gives profound meaning to the occasion, grounding the court in the very hearts and homes of the Caribbean people it serves. Hosting this ceremony here provides a living expression of the court's reach and roots across the region. It reaffirms that the CCJ is not an abstraction, but a vibrant Caribbean institution, sustained by Caribbean intellect and inspired by Caribbean pride.
Justice Bulkan fills the seat left vacant by Justice Winston Anderson, who became CCJ president earlier this year. He's now the third Guyanese to serve on the CCJ bench. Justice Bulkan was selected from 26 applicants across the region by the Regional Judicial and Legal Services Commission. He holds law degrees from the University of the West Indies, University College London, and Osgoode Hall in Canada, and has been a Justice of Appeal in Belize since 2022.
Today's swearing in as a judge of the CCJ is deeply meaningful to me. Not because of any sense of personal accomplishment, because I am fully aware of the extensive talent in this region and how my selection is as much good fortune or good timing as anything else. Rather, I am acutely conscious of what this court represents in terms of decolonization and regional integration, and it is an honor and privilege to have the opportunity to participate in this journey. I ask Excellencies for your indulgence in allowing me to briefly pay tribute to the formidable strides the CCJ has made in its relatively short lifetime under the stewardship of successive giants as presidents, to explain more fully why joining its ranks today resonates so deeply with me.
The Caribbean Court of Justice, inaugurated in 2005, serves as the highest court for several CARICOM states, handling disputes from the revised Treaty of Chagaramas and acting as the final court of appeal for member countries. Justice Bulkan's appointment is expected to enhance the CCJ's capacity to deliver fair and impartial judgments, reinforcing its role in the Caribbean's legal landscape. Agriculture Minister Zulfikar Mustafa has outlined a series of forward-looking plans to boost livestock production, improve genetics, and modernize farming practices across the country. Speaking during a media engagement for Agriculture Month, Minister Mustafa detailed the government's strategy to strengthen the beef, dairy, and sheep industries.
We are working with cattle farmers around the country, where we were instructed by His Excellency the President to work with them to bring into the country embryo, and we are working to develop the beef industry in that part.
The ministry is advancing breeding programs through embryo transfer and artificial insemination, focusing on high-quality breeds such as Brahman cattle, Dorper sheep, and black belly sheep. More than 500 farmers have already benefited from the initiative, which also includes training and support to expand meat-type livestock production. Minister Mustafa noted that through a regional partnership with Barbados, a number of black belly sheep were imported, with plans to build a Caribbean brand capable of competing in international land markets.
We have received from the Barbadian government approximately 1,000 black belly sheep. We have increased that now. I believe it has increased triple. We have tripled that amount.
In Ebony, the government has teamed up with a Brazilian company to revitalize dairy farming and agricultural estates, a move that renews focus on milk production alongside beef. A state-of-the-art abattoir in Region 5 is also set to be commissioned within 2 weeks, reinforcing the importance of maintaining a steady livestock supply to meet growing demand.
We have to ensure that we produce enough beef for that abattoir.
To support sustainable livestock management, a 650-acre pasture is being developed to transition farmers from free-range grazing to more structured systems. The government is also investing in extension services to provide hands-on support to farmers nationwide.
Gone are the days when you only take your animal out there and leave them in the wild to graze. Now we have to work and develop a system where we are now taking care of these animals.
As Agriculture Month continues, the ministry's plan signals a bright future for Ghana's livestock sector, one built on innovation, collaboration, and a deep commitment to farmers' success. Ghana's top high school, Queen's College, continues to produce girls who are inspiring positive change, not only within the institution, but the country at large. This is according to the school's principal, Donna Lewis-Iles, who noted that since the first cohort of girls were admitted in 1975, they quickly adapted, proving themselves equal by leading academically. The school today celebrated 50 years since that first cohort, marking the milestone with a ceremony honoring 50 years of achievements. Minister of Local Government and Regional Development, Priyamanik Chan, an alumna who gave the feature address, said leaders in every field emerged from Queen's College.
Ministers of the government have come from this school. Vindhya Prasad, Dr. Vindhya Prasad, who's with us, sitting next to the inimitable Mrs. Roller, Minister Onej Walrun, and I myself walked these corridors and sat in these classrooms.
She added that it is important to celebrate the policymakers who made the change 50 years ago, a move that paved the way for the school's growth. Meanwhile, Devendra Kisoon, president of the Queen's College Old Students Association, said the girls have excelled and transformed the school, proving themselves in law, medicine, public service, and other areas, while also shaping industries. 3 months after 19-year-old Orandi Welcome Jr. was struck by a police vehicle in New Amsterdam, his family is speaking out over what they call a lack of accountability. The incident occurred on July 8, 2025 along Pitt Street, as Welcome was returning home after dropping off a friend who had been rallying Pillen on his motorcycle. Reports say police allegedly mistook Welcome for a robbery suspect and hit him with their vehicle, breaking his leg in 3 places.
He was riding without helmet, yes. He was towing a friend, yes. So after he dropped the friend off, and he was going to turn back, probably see the police van and try to do a hurry turn. So the police van approach, knock he down, blood down. They didn't send any indication, sir. Blow the horn for he stop, put on the siren, obviously the police van, they get siren. They got to woo if they need the guy to stop. They do nothing, they just go knock he down. Break the man for 3 places, bro.
Welcome also claimed that after the collision, an officer drew his firearm and aimed it at him. Speaking with the Night News, Welcome's father called the incident a blatant injustice. He said his son has been unable to work since the accident and expressed disbelief that the Director of Public Prosecutions charged his son for traffic offenses, including riding without a helmet and using an unlicensed motorcycle, while no action has been taken against the officer.
They can't charge me son until you gotta go to court and they in charge the police, and the police they're free. This is attempt murder. If my son they do that to they will charge you for attempt murder. I can't see a charge an innocent man for riding his own bike and the police will knock you down, destroy your bike, break it up. He ain't got no charge. He didn't say you gotta replace a part from the bike or nothing, but he's riding free, he driving free and doing what he wants in this country. This is messed up.
The family says they will continue pressing for justice, including taking legal action if necessary. When we come back, Georgetown glows with deep Jale celebrations, Alyssa Haley shines again for Australia, and James Anderson proves age is just a number. Stay with us.
Your business is built on hard work, vision, and the drive to succeed. At GBTI, we understand what it takes to grow. That's why we offer Grow, a small business service designed to help your business expand, adapt, and reach its full potential. From new opportunities to new milestones, we're here to support you every step of the way. Grow from GBTI. Progress starts here.
You're watching Night News on 6 at 6. Thanks for staying with us. We're going to lights, color, and culture as Deep Jale transforms Georgetown into a festival of unity and hope. The Guyana Hindu Dharmic Sabha's annual Deep Jale at the Kitty Roundabout brought Georgetown alive last night, transforming the area into a festival of lights, music, and culture. Hundreds of families and young people gathered to watch dazzling displays, stroll through the lively Diwali bazaar, and enjoy traditional sweets like gulab jamun and barfi. The highlight of the evening, the ceremonial lighting of diyas, filled the roundabout with a warm golden glow. President Dr. Muhammad Irfan Ali joined the celebration and praised the Sabha for keeping Hindu traditions alive, while inspiring the next generation.
That tells a story that this organization has kept not only the values and tradition, but has kept a culture and religious belief and spirituality alive with their work.
The festival was especially vibrant this year, with youth lighting diyas alongside their families, a beautiful symbol of hope, positivity, and the triumph of light over darkness. The air was filled with traditional music, dance performances, and a joyful hum of festival-goers shopping for diyas, rangoli powders, and colorful decorations. President Ali reminded the crowd that Diwali is more than lights. It's about finding and sharing the inner light that brings hope and positive change.
We live in a world that is filled with darkness, a world that is filled with troubles, a world in which the individual light in each one of us is more essential today than it was 51 years ago. That individual light, that when everything is dark around it, that one single light that remain a light can influence all the other dark corners in that room, can change the fortunes of all the dark corners in that room, can uplift that room, can bring a level of positivity.
The Jale once again showcased Ghana's unity in diversity as communities, businesses, and families came together to celebrate culture, faith, and the enduring strength of togetherness. In sports, Captain Alyssa Healy powered Australia into the Women's World Cup semi-finals with a brilliant unbeaten century, leading her side to a 10-wicket win over Bangladesh. Healy smashed 130 not out from just 77 balls, hitting 17 fours and 3 sixes, as she and Phoebe Litchfield shared a 202-run opening stand. Litchfield contributed 84 off 72 deliveries, and the pair chased down 199 in under 25 overs. Earlier, Bangladesh struggled after choosing to bat. Rubia Haider made 44 before a collapse from 73 for 165 for 9. Subhana Mostri fought back with a defiant 66 not out, helping her side reach 198 for 9. But the total proved no challenge for the defending champions, who sealed their semi-final spot with 2 matches to spare. Healy's knock followed her 142 against India on the same ground, confirming her as a tournament's standout performer. England cricket legend James Anderson is showing no signs of slowing down. The 43-year-old fast bowler has signed a contract extension with Lancashire, keeping him in the game through the 2026 season, well past his 44th birthday. Anderson, who retired from international cricket in 2024, remains England's all-time leading wicket-taker, with 704 test wickets, third only to Matai Muraltiran and Shane Warne. In the 2025 County Championship, he took 17 wickets in 6 matches, and impressed in T20 cricket, with 20 wickets as Lancashire reached the Blast finals, day his first stint in the format in a decade. He also made his franchise debut in the 100 with the Manchester's Originals and captained Lancashire in the championship, a role he may continue next season. The new deal marks 25 years since his debut for Lancashire in 2001. Anderson has hinted he could even play until 2027, further cementing his legacy as one of the game's greats. Still ahead, Trinidadian feared dead after a U.S. strike. Trump confirmed CIA operations in Venezuela, and Western powers tightened their grip on Russia's oil trade. Welcome back. In Trinidad, a fisherman is feared dead after U.S. strike off Venezuela. Relatives of 28-year-old Trinidadian fisherman Chad Burnley believed he was among 6 men killed when a vessel was destroyed in a lethal kinetic strike by U.S. forces off the coast of Venezuela on Tuesday. It was the 5th such strike in 5 weeks, bringing the total death toll from U.S. operations in the area to 27. According to the Trinidad Express, Burnley's family told TV6 and the Express they were confident he was among the dead, along with another Trinidadian and 4 Venezuelans. Relatives said Burnley had been in Colombia for 4 months, though it's unclear why. They said he had twice tried to leave Colombia by boat, but was forced to turn back after being shot at. On Sunday night, he and 5 others reportedly set out again, traveling along the Colombian coast before running aground near Carapano, Venezuela. After waiting several hours, they tried to continue toward Trinidad. It is believed that this is when they were hit by the U.S. forces in international waters, killing everyone on board. Family members say Burnley had hoped to reunite with relatives in Trinidadian waters. U.S. President Donald Trump has confirmed that he authorized the CIA to carry out covert operations in Venezuela. The New York Times first reported a classified directive, citing officials who said the goal is to remove Maduro from power. The Trump administration has also offered a $50 million reward for information leading to Maduro's arrest on drug trafficking charges. Yesterday, Trump told reporters he approved the CIA's involvement over concerns about migration and narcotics, claiming without evidence that Venezuela had emptied its prisons into the United States. He said U.S. forces had largely secured maritime drug routes and were now focused on overland trafficking. While the White House declined to discuss specifics, reports suggest the CIA has been given broad authority for lethal and regional operations across the Caribbean. Finally, this evening, Western powers are tightening the squeeze on Russia's oil sales amid its ongoing war with Ukraine. U.S. President Donald Trump told reporters yesterday that India will stop buying Russian oil, while Britain has imposed sanctions on top Russian energy firms, Lukoil and Rosneft. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is due to meet Trump in Washington on Friday, seeking more military and energy support as both sides intensify attacks on energy infrastructure. Reuters reports that 3 sources with knowledge of the matter says Indian refiners are preparing to cut back Russian imports as early as December, though New Delhi says it hasn't received formal instructions to stop buying. Russia now supplies 36% of India's crude, but the US says those reducing imports is key to any new trade deal. Meanwhile, the UK's new sanctions also target Chinese refiners and port operators tied to Russian oil, prompting protests from Beijing. Russia's embassy in London dismissed the sanctions as ineffective, saying they'll only drive up energy prices for British consumers. And that's all for this edition of Ignite News on 6 at 6. For more stories, visit ignitenews.com or follow us on social media. Thanks for watching. I'm Rihanna Nikram. See you tomorrow for more Ignite News.